Hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Severine. Welcome to the Happy Aspie Show. Today, I want to talk about Rachel Brathen. She's a famous yoga teacher. I used to follow her for many years, especially her podcast From the Heart. As you may have noticed, I am French, so please be nice. I haven't talked English for many, many years. I hope my English is coming back stronger and stronger. So, why did I want to talk about Rachel Brathen? Because Rachel Brathen, she's in a very dark place. She told it herself a few weeks ago in a podcast. And it's no wonder she's in a dark place because she's doing so many dark things. I'm going to explain about that in a few minutes. But before, let me tell you my story with Rachel Brathen. So I listened to her podcast From the Heart for many, many years, and I learned quite a bit, to be honest. She had really a skill to talk about feelings, emotions, to analyze relationship, and I was really fascinated by it because I am on the spectrum, so I have many difficulties to understand the relationships between people. So at first, I learned many things, but then I grew more and more uneasy by listening to her podcast. What I didn't like is that he was so self-centered. Her podcast was always about her. She was, Rachel, the main topic. And I am sorry, but very few persons are interesting enough to be the only topic of a podcast. And narcissism is not a good thing. So I was, feeling more and more uneasy by listening to her podcast because I had a strange impression that I was peeping through a hole, and that I was, watching her live her life. Whereas I am not, a person of a family, I'm not a friend. And she was sharing too many private details. And I've never heard of someone who was doing so. I've never heard of someone I know so many things about her private life. This is not healthy. She should really talk about it to her psychologist. I know how she met her husband, the feeling she had when she met her husband. I know about her family, her many traumas. And another thing I disliked about her podcast was that she was ruminated. I don't know if you can say it in English, but she was talking over and over about her traumas. And this is not good. Her traumas, of course, must be talked about maybe once, twice, but no more. Because the more you talk about a trauma, the more you reactivate the trauma and you make it more painful, and then it starts to haunt you and you cannot live your life without it. And many people have lived traumas. I've lived many traumas, but if I'm still alive and healthy, is because I try to heal. And the way you heal is to try to move on. And traumas, even if they are painful, they teach you things. For instance, for me, my traumas make me very strong, very resilient. And I thank God for giving me that strength, because alone I won't have it. So I was more and more uneasy with her narcissism, her obsession with her traumas, and also that she was doing a lot of occult stuff like reading cards, doing astrology stuff, and those stuff are really dark, very dark, and she's really in a dark place. And she was always saying that she was having anxiety, whereas she has um, rather privileged life. I mean, she has the life she has always wanted. She has a farm. She has a sweet husband, 2 kids. She has a family, many friends. She has money. She can travel. She can, I mean, as many times she wants. And, she has very luxury kind of farmer life, because usually farmer, they just take 1 week off. That's all, because nobody is there to take care of the cattle, of the plants, of the, fields. You need to, be there all the time. Animals need you, plants need you. So she was very privileged, but then she's never satisfied. She's always complaining, and I stopped listening to her podcast, but sometimes I check what she's doing. So most of the time, I just read the titles of the podcast. That's when I saw that she was in a dark place, and it was the sum up of the podcast. And recently, I listened to maybe half of her last podcast, and she was complaining about being bullied on the net, that she was insulted. And me, I tried to help her, because it's very strange when you listen to somebody who is telling you about everything about her private life. You feel you know the person, and even if you haven't met her, but in a way, it's like I was knowing her. Well, of course, she doesn't know me. I mean, she doesn't know her listeners. So that's a kind of weird relationship. And I felt that she needs help. So I try, to reach her, and I send her messages and telling her, okay, why don't you grab Bible? You can pray, and then you open a Bible at random, and God will guide you. We will tell you what you need to know. And she never answered my messages, and finally she blocked me. So she was complaining in her last podcast that she was bullied, insulted, but I was not bullying her. I was trying to help her, but yet she blocked me. And she blocked me in a very deep level, because when first she blocked me, I was very, disappointed, because she presents herself as somebody who is very open to discussion, to talk with people who have different views. She presents herself as being very open-minded, but she is not. When you talk about Jesus, she blocked you. That's so strange. I mean, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And I mean, she could at least say, okay, I'm going to do what she tell me, and I'm going to read the Bible and to see if I feel better. And no, she never tried, and she blocked me. I tried to create new Instagram account, but anyway, she blocked me on my computer. I mean, my computer address is blocked. So I'm sorry, I am poor. I'm not wealthy as she is, and I just want computer, so I cannot create account. And I wanted to reach her, but she doesn't want to have this conversation. I think she's stuck in her relationship with herself. I mean, she's always like so narcissistic, and I'm very sorry about her, and I'm very sorry for her, and I'm very sorry that she can lead so many people in the bad way, because obviously doing occult stuff will never make you happy, will never make you peaceful, whereas listening to God will make you peaceful, even if you are living difficult stuff. And I know what I am talking about because I am living difficult stuff. I've been sick for 7 years, and yet I am joyful and peaceful because I put God in the first place in my life. And I know if I am sick, it's because I need to learn stuff about myself, and I offer my suffering to God, and this suffering will be changed in beautiful stuff. And I know I'm not alone, and I know my life has a purpose. That's why, I live in a council flat. I have, I don't have a lot of money, and I'm a single mom. I have a kid with ADHD, and it's hard. I mean, it's a hard life, but yet I am peaceful and joyful because I put God in the first place in my life. Whereas Rachel, I mean, she has everything to be happy, and she's not. She's not because there is a void in her soul. So I pray that somehow she listened to this podcast and try to say, okay, now it's time for me to read the Bible. I remember that in a podcast many years ago, she shared her life in Colombia, and she said that she loved going to Mass, Catholic Masses. So, Rachel, I pray that you will listen to my podcast and you will stop block me. Maybe if you want to join me, if you want to talk with me, I will be happy to help you feel better, to help you stop doing occult stuff. And really, people, if you having hard times, it's not by doing astrology test or profiles or anything that you will feel better, because nobody knows one's future, only God. And we don't need to know our future. We just need to know in which direction to go. And Jesus will tell you the way to go. And believe me, if you follow Jesus, whatever you live through, you will feel peaceful. It will be a peace, supernatural peace, which had nothing to do with material stuff. So I hope you enjoy my podcast. Please, if you like it, make a comment and share it, because I really hope that Rachel will listen to me, because this is why I've done this podcast. And people, please don't follow Rachel. I mean, she's not in a good place. You can follow her, okay, when she's talking about plants and farmer stuff. Okay, she's good at it, but don't follow her in her rambling. For many years she said, okay, everybody be a vegan. Being vegan is very dangerous, people. You can be vegetarian but not vegan. It's not healthy. And so people, don't listen to Rachel when she's rambling. Just listen to her when she's doing stuff with plants, And maybe I will do another podcast in English. So God bless you, and see you next time.